Hey, good morning, everyone. Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media and Sports Journalist. Hope everyone's doing great on this fine Saturday. It is the day after Valentine's Day. How did I celebrate? I hung out with a bunch of other single guys. Um, yeah, that's my life right now. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about the Auburn Tigers, number one, 22-2 overall, 10-1 in the conference, coming off a great win over Vanderbilt after a loss to Florida, and Alabama on a 7-game win streak, pushing at that number 2 spot behind Auburn, 10-1 in the conference, 21-3 overall. This game is in Tuscaloosa at Coleman Coliseum this afternoon. I still don't know if we're gonna go live for it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I mean, this is one you just can't miss. I don't remember the last time they're actually saying that these teams have never met as 1 and 2. So, I mean, that's pretty historic. You really don't wanna miss out on that. So, give Auburn credit, give Alabama credit. They've earned their way to the rankings, where they are ranked. It is a little odd, though. It being in Coleman Coliseum, Alabama is favored, but the matchup predictor actually favors Auburn on ESPN. Check this out. Auburn comes into this game with a 52.5. Let me full screen that. 52.5% chance to win, leaving the Alabama Crimson Tide with a 47.5% chance to win. Janai Broome and company, Chad Baker Mazzara on defense. It's really one of those things for Auburn where it's all Janai Broome this year, at least in recent games. But they have a lot of different go to players that you could highlight and look at and say they're just really, really good. Chad Baker Mazzara loves to steal the ball. He averages about 1.5 steals per game, 1.3, whatever, pretty close to 1.5. Uh, he leads the team in that category. They got Miles Kelly. They have Tahad Pettiford, who has 11.5 points per game. Janai Broome leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists for Auburn. He's at 10.7 rebounds on the year per game, 18.1 points per game, and 3.3 assists per game. And he also leads in blocks at 2.7. And again, that's all per game. But the thing I love about Auburn is their pressure inside the paint. I love to watch these guys go up and make plays with everyone that they play. It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, they had lost to Florida. And yeah, they gave up 90 points, but when you really look at it, Auburn still played a pretty good defensive game. They had a hard time defending the 3. And I think that's going to have to be key today when they go to Coleman Coliseum. By the way, I want to mention College Game Day for basketball is going to be there too. So, that's how big of a game this is. They never they never traveled really to Tuscaloosa for this. They're saying it's their first time, not ever, but probably their first time in almost a decade. I can't even remember the last time Reese in the game went to Tuscaloosa outside of football season. I mean, this is huge. And it's not that these two teams haven't come close to having something this significant in the series. They have, but it's finally here as a game of the century, everything on the line type of magnitude. It really is, and it's here. And when you look at um, just the history behind this rivalry in football, and then you look at it in basketball, you go back to the days of Charles Barkley and everybody, like, it's always been a dominant game in SEC history. It's been a dominant, uh, competition type of game in the state of Alabama. It really has. So, I look at it and I say that, you know, these 2 teams earn their right to be 1 and 2. It is it's really special. At Auburn, it's really weird because, they are coming off a big win over Vandy, who has looked like a pretty good team. Uh, and they've at least looked okay. I'll give them props. They're like 17-7, but Auburn had the weird loss to Florida, who's third and 8-3 in the conference. Like that's Auburn's lone loss is Florida. Now you look at the other side with the Crimson Tide, and their lone loss, they have lost actually 3 games. They've lost to Oregon by 2 at home on November 30th. Uh, well, I say home. It was neutral location. I apologize. It was like an early season tournament. They went to Purdue and lost by 9, and they've lost to Ole Miss back in like a month ago. And Ole Miss is a pretty good team. This is huge. This really is huge. And how do we get here? It, like, we're not maybe a decade removed, close to it, to when these 2 teams in football were trading back blows at each other for the SEC championship spot in like the 2017, 2013 Iron Bowls. And, you've had those games in football. Then you look at it in basketball. I think it's always, I want to say that it's always mattered in the state. You go back to some of the players and coaches like Charles Barkley, Leon Douglas was really, really good. He's from Layton, Alabama, I believe. And you go back to just some of those good old days, and you know, the early stages of this rivalry. I mean, there's historic name. Charles Barkley, I mentioned. Wimp Sanderson is coach for Alabama. Cliff Ellis. I could go down the list. Uh, it's it's kind of significant though because Alabama made last year they made the Final Four for the first time ever. And you go back to the 18-19 season, or was it the 19 and 20? No, because Auburn had actually made it and Virginia won it that year. But both of these teams have only made the Final Four once. But prior to like 2017 or 2018, when Auburn made it, they had never done it. The furthest they had been was like the round of 32 or the Sweet 16. And it's just great to see what Bruce Pearl has done. It's great to see what Nate Oates has done. And it's just gotten better and better and better as it's gone on. So make this one quick. I don't want to be live too long for you guys. We'll try to be live before the game tips off. I'm not really much of a guy to call games anymore, but this is just so big in the state in college basketball today. I just want to honestly, I want to react as an Alabama fan and kind of give my initial thoughts and everything as the game goes on, if that's okay. It's not a guarantee we go live too. Um, it's we'll see what my what my grandparents got going on today, but uh 2.5 point spread for Bama to be favored at home. If this were in Auburn, I'm sure obviously Auburn would be favored. But Auburn does have a 52.5% chance to go into Coleman Coliseum today and win. It's indoors, so game time weather doesn't matter, but it will be 59 degrees out. not too cold. Alabama, like I said, they've won their last 7. Auburn bounced back with only 1 win on their streak after a tough loss to Florida on the 8th, and on the 11th, 3 days later, going back Wednesday, or was it Tuesday, they had beat Vanderbilt pretty good, 80-68. Who has the advantage? Honestly, I think overall talent, and I'm not even trying to be biased here, I do think it's Alabama. I just think um, with everything they've done the last couple of years, but also this season, the reason they came back was to try to win a championship, Alabama. And only way you're gonna get there is if you play consistent. Now, stat wise, I credit Jedi Broom for being the leader in rebounds in the SEC at 10.7. Grant Nelson's only fourth at 8.1, behind Kentucky's Amari Williams and Colin Murray Boyles of South Carolina. Offensive leaders in the SEC, Trey Johnson of Texas is at 19.3 at the top. Behind him, Jani Broom at 2, Mark Sears at 3. So you have 2 of the top 3 leading scorers in the SEC in this game. You have 2 of the top defensive leaders in rebounds in this game in Jani Broom and Grant Nelson. You also have the leader in blocks in Jani Broom. You have Mark Sears third in assists. Uh, that's pretty much it. I mean, when you look at 3-pointers, you got to go to Tennessee to find the leader in Chaz Lanier. And then Cam Matthews of Mississippi State leads in steals. So you have all that. That's pretty good to see. They have the categories lined up. They have great talent, as they should. Bruce Pearl's an amazing head coach, and so is Nate Oates. And I give both of them credit for getting their teams in this position to be here. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll have to watch College Game Day this morning at least, and then keep the radio on. Maybe listen to Chris Stewart or whoever calling calling the Bama game. So this is huge, and if I don't get a chance to go, well, let me just say this. As far as me and calling these games, I we gotta do something during March Madness, I think. I think we have to because these are special. I do like to go live for these. I'm not really a play-by-play guy. I'm not. I am gonna give my ultimate reaction to how I feel teams are doing, but I'm not, you know, the color analyst side is more on the football. Basketball's a little more extreme for me and a little different. Not saying it can't be done, but you know, is what it is. I think I've made up my mind too. I had scheduled like 2 minutes ago Auburn and Alabama reaction. I think we'll just keep this preview this morning, and I think I want to just enjoy the game and then meet you guys at halftime for this one. If I can meet you at halftime and talk about the game then, I think we have a good chance. I think that will work. I'm just going to be honest. In this business, I know you got to be flexible. You got to do all this, and you got to be good at everything you do, or try to at least. My main goal and dream is still to have a Feinbaum's job and have a talk show. I just want to talk. That's it. I don't really want to call games. I mean, I like when I get the chance to be on the radio with the station in Coleman. I love calling games in football season, but also when it comes to YouTube, we want to kind of keep that rolling. And I think the best way to keep it rolling is if we just talk about games, but we don't really try to call them. I think that would help. I think if we get back to call-in shows and stuff, I think we have a really good chance to keep this channel successful and everything. So, yeah, yeah, I think that will work. So, don't forget too. I don't think. Well, yes, I did. Southern Throne is a new SEC football show coming up here on the channel. We're going to try to have our first episode at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central on Monday afternoon. And I'm in the process of trying to find that go to job that I can make some extra money to help pay bills and stuff. So it might schedules might change on here sooner rather than later, but for now, let's try to give it a go if we can on Mondays around 3 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon. And yeah, I don't know. Why not? Episode 1 of Southern Throne, recruiting champs versus the true contenders when it comes to college football in the SEC. Who has recruited greatly? And also, who are the real contenders? Looking at you, Kalen DeBoer. Let's go. For real. I'm excited about this show. I think we could get it going. Not that there's not already SEC shows out there, but we need a regular one, at least in our community. Like Pete and Sea Dog do the ACC show. You don't really have the Big Ten. Like, I mean, you have everything Mark Rogers does, but Mark Rogers is like a brand of his own, like for real. And he has a company and everything. We don't really have companies over here, but um yeah, I'm excited about this one. So I think it's gonna work out. And ultimately, I'm excited for you guys to check it out. I think when we end this stream this morning, I'm gonna play the Southern Throne intro for you guys, so that way you guys get a feel for it before Monday. And yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think we could have some guests. Um, don't hold your breath on getting coaches or players, I guess, but we can try. There's no shame in trying. But the goal of this show is to let you guys come on, talk, um, just talk SEC ball, talk about the latest news and stories, do predictions, everything like that. Everything SEC. You want to check out Southern Throne here at Ballard Sports Media. Yes, you do. All right. Well, I came on. I gave my 2 cents on Auburn and Alabama today. I'm looking forward to watching the game. Will not be live for it, but I think it has a chance to be very historic, down to the wire at Coleman Coliseum. Hoping Alabama pulls it off, but to the victor go the spoils and the credit. And Auburn, if you do this, if you go to Coleman Coliseum today and you pull off an upset, a small upset that is. I say upset because it is the road, right? If you do this, credit to you. These boys gonna be ready. Not these guys, but you know what I'm saying. The Bama boys gonna show up, be ready for Auburn. That's right. I got this. Don't forget our shows. Touchdowns Live with me and Mayhem Matthew. The BSM podcast weekly, a couple times a week, maybe at this point. But you ever want to be a guest? Well, not on that one. And we're going to try to get back to our call in shows too, college football debates and analysis. A lot of things I'm trying to figure out schedule wise. This one, I liked it. I did. I need to find time. I might wait till the fall and bring this back for football season. I might, but don't hold your breath on it. Anyway. Just means more. Anyway, I love you guys. Have an awesome Saturday. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up and hit that thumbs up on the way out. And subscribe if you're new. Good luck to Auburn. Good luck to Alabama. Roll Tide. And I'm going to say it right here. No bias. Roll Tide and War Eagle. How about that? I said it. You can quote me on it. You make fun of me all you want to. I don't care. Damn. Anyway, I got to go. And just wanted to preview the game this morning. So, love y'all. And again, we'll play the Southern Throne outro for our show coming up soon. All right.
Great traditions in college football. And for the final time this year, the Eagle flight.
Take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Ryan Williams. Still spinning free. Touchdown, Alabama. They answer in one play.
Strange play fake. Bennett. Look out. Here comes a posse of Ducks. And it's a
4th and goal and a half a yard. Jackson. Touchdown.
Unbeaten and really untested except for one game by the Florida Gators in the 4th quarter. Saban and the Tide